My name's Eric Wielander and I'm the developer of BestPhotos, an app that helps you manage your photo library. So Apple's done a really great job of adding this iCloud photo library where all your photos sync across all your Apple devices, and they've kind of made the photo library two things at once. One is that it's this central hub for any kind of images on your iOS devices. So you'll often see screenshots and screen recordings land there. You'll see, other images saved from various other apps, not to mention, of course, all the photos you take with your iPhone or your iPad. And then, it can also be a great way to look back on memories. So you can go through and find old events and just remember those, share them with friends and family, post them to social media. I think it's important with that place that the photo library has in your Apple life is to have some powerful tools to organize that library and manage it and sort of clean up the parts that you don't like, keep the parts that you do, find and enjoy old memories there. So that's really the purpose behind BestPhotos. Now, I started building this when I went on a vacation in 2016, and I only took my iPad and iPhone, and I wanted more tools to manage some of the metadata and other things about photos and organize them into albums better. And so I built BestPhotos from there and launched it in 2017, and I've been updating it on a pretty regular basis ever since. Now, I just came out with version 3. It's the biggest update to BestPhotos yet, and I have a video all about all those detailed new features. So if that's something you're interested in, go check that out. But I want to describe a little bit of the background of sort of how you use the app and just how to get started if you've never used BestPhotos before. So if you notice here, I have my phone in dark mode. So the interface is in dark mode here, but you might see light mode. Now, if you upgrade to any of the premium options, you'll have the ability to customize whether you want dark mode or light mode, just kind of override your system preference if that's something you're into. Speaking of settings, there's some really handy settings right here that I want to call out because I think they'll really help you in using BestPhotos. First, of course, is enabling cell data downloads. This is off by default to keep you from running through your data plan. If you're running through a lot of BestPhotos, images in BestPhotos while you're on cellular data, you can use a lot of data just by downloading those images. But of course, if you have an unlimited data plan or something where you're not as concerned about that, it might be something you want to turn on so that you can continue to get the full resolution previews for those images coming down from iCloud. Then you have some really nice features for ignore videos and ignore screenshots. Now, I'm an app developer. I'm taking screenshots all the time of my apps and other people's apps. And, I don't necessarily want those in my photo library. Now, there are many different ways to manage that, but one thing I added in BestPhotos is just a quick toggle. So when you're using BestPhotos, you'll never see those screenshots, and so that can just be really handy. They're still there in your photo library. You just won't see them in BestPhotos, and it'll allow you to focus maybe on the photos, of actual memories that you want to manage and remember. From there, you can also choose to auto-advance photos. Now, this means that as you delete a photo, it'll automatically move you to the next one. So I'm going to turn that on really quick right now and just show you what that looks like in a minute, and it'll make more sense. Now, another thing is auto-playing live photos and videos. If you're the kind of person that likes those to auto-play as you're moving through your library, flip that on and they certainly will. Personally, I don't, and you can of course manually play any of the live photos or videos as you go through your library. From this main library screen, you can swipe to the left and get the calendar view. So this is a new way to look at your photo library. I find this to be a great way to get to events very quickly, and it also allows, it's also just great for browsing through my photo library, whether I'm just trying to relive memories or I'm trying to find areas of my photo library maybe I need to clean up that need some more, whether it's deleting of photos or some photos that I haven't shared. So then of course you have recently added and everything. So everything is all the photos in your library, and recently added is just the past, whatever Apple photo library thinks is the recently added photos. And of course, that's because BestPhotos is talking to your system photo library. So it's all the same stuff you see in Photos and all the same stuff that will be synced across your Apple devices if you use iCloud Photo Library. Now, we'll cover in detail what smart searches are a little bit later. Of course, from there, you have albums. So you can organize your photo library with albums and folders. Now, this allows you to have like curated collections of photos that maybe are across a lot of dates and times, but then you can quickly get to them with an album or folder. And of course, these sync not only in BestPhotos, but to your photo library across any other app. So, it can be a handy way to organize. Maybe you're all into Instagram and you want to, be posting, sort of curating collections of photos for Instagram. You can, use albums to manage that. And then when you're getting ready to post in Instagram, go find that album. So I'm going to go into an album called Chicago. These are photos I've taken of Chicago, the city that I live not that far from. And then we can just talk about how the app works. So I selected it. Now I have this grid of photos that of course I can do stuff with. I can press and hold on any of these and you'll get the context menu where you can do any number of actions on the photo. If you just tap on a photo, it'll take you into what I personally call the declutter mode, but you don't really need to worry about that name. But then this allows you to go through your photos, in more full screen and decide if there's any of them that you want to delete. And if they are, you can, swipe over and get the delete option, or you can swipe to the other side and mark them as a favorite. Now, if I mark this photo to delete, you'll see auto advance will jump me to the next photo. Same thing as if I mark that photo as a favorite, it'll jump me to the next photo because it thinks I've already made a decision about what I want to do with that photo. Let's go to the next one. But of course you can turn that off if you want to be jumping through your photos manually. Now, one of the killer features I think about this is when you have you use the arrow buttons on the bottom. So I use that all the time. So I can jump through photos quickly, but then I can also get an idea and see visually the difference between photos very easily when they instantly change. And that's especially true if you've taken a lot of photos of the same thing, and we'll talk more about that in a second. Now, you'll notice here that there's like a red border on the side in the film strip is what I call it. That side area where it's showing these photos are ones you've marked to delete. And that's one of the key things is with deleting photos, BestPhotos sort of saves that for one whole batch where once you've marked a bunch of photos in a particular group that you want to delete, then you have to hit the done button to save. So if you hit the done button, it'll say, allow BestPhotos to delete these 5 items. And then if you hit delete, it will actually delete them. If you're like, I'm not so sure, maybe I don't want to, you can just hit don't allow and it will just keep those from being deleted. And you'll still have them. Now, when photos are deleted, this is an iCloud photo library thing, it will get put into the recently deleted album for 30 days. So they're not gone immediately forever. They go into recently deleted where then you can permanently delete them or they'll automatically be permanently deleted after 30 days. So maybe you haven't set up albums in your photo library, but one of the other things that can be handy is media types. Now this is sort of Apple's different categories of types of photos in your library, and they can also be a handy way to jump to certain things. So portrait, of course, is portrait mode photos. You got all your live photos as one. You can see hidden photos, which is a whole nother topic for another video probably. Time lapses, favorites. So you saw earlier how we can favorite a photo. Then those will get put in your favorites category as well. And that's really nice just to be able to pick out photos you really like. And then of course you have videos, panoramas, which is another cool thing you can do, of course, with your iPhone to take big panoramas of places. So media types can be a handy way to jump to specific ones of those. And that's the same kind of media types you'll see in the Apple Photos app. I just carried them over because you want to be able to have that easy access wherever, I think. Now, smart searches are just these tools, ways that BestPhotos can scan your photo library for potential problems that you might want to look at, areas you might want to focus on. Like if you really love organizing your photos in albums, you might want to see all the photos that aren't in albums, or you might want to see if maybe you've added photos that are duplicates into your library, or you have some similar photos where you just want to jump to where you took like 5 pictures of the same thing, and you want to see that all those 5 pictures of each different same thing across your whole library. Similar photos will help you jump to that, and they'll help you clean up those photos as well. So all sorts of different tools. Now it's a premium part of BestPhotos, but something to maybe check out and play with if you're interested in upgrading to one of the premium options. So I think that just about covers it for basics. Of course, if you want to find out more about the new features in BestPhotos 3, be sure to check out that video. And thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks for checking out BestPhotos. There's a link to download it in the App Store in the description of this video if you're watching this on YouTube. So I'll see you in the next update.